The Garden Report is brought to you by FanDuel, the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network.
Hey, Boy Manning here, Josue Pavon by my side. Time for another Garden Report from Media Day, and one of the stories from the offseason I think we all want to hear most were those Brown Tatum workouts with Paul Pierce out there in Los Angeles. They spent the last couple weeks of the offseason with him, spent some time with Garnett as well. I know Brown met him at the Colorado game that they all attended out there last week with Derek White, who was drinking heavy early in the morning like it was 2014 again or whenever he was in college.
Hey, kudos to him, man. Colorado, it's that time, you know?
Yeah, so they both didn't want to make a huge deal about those repetitions together. Brown especially was like, we work out together all the time in the summer. And Tatum was like, I know what you guys are going to ask me. We worked out with Paul Pierce, and he told us a lot of great stories, and he lost 20 pounds, which was something, too. Pierce did. So it's great that they worked out together. It's great that they had conversations about what this year is going to be like and even learned from Pierce. I think this is probably the first time that they've really given him their ears on the experiences he had in 2008. So as much as they rolled their eyes at our interest in it, I think it was great to see them both go through that.
Yeah, I agree, Bobby. And I think they expected it because, so much was made about it, that black and white picture of Tatum and Brown in the gym together. It was like, whoa, like we're not used to seeing this early or wherever it was, in the middle of the summertime. So, yeah, I mean, it's something that we're going to talk about because we haven't seen it before. And it's funny because Corrales' follow-up was like, well, how many times have you guys done this before? And he couldn't quite pinpoint because I was like, maybe it was just your rookie year, Jaylen. It might have been the only time you guys have done it,
He was like early in
you guys have worked out in the summertime.
Yeah,
that might have been the only time, which again, it's fine. But this is newsworthy, or at least it's something that's going to be brought up because it's not something that we're used to seeing. And I think it shows the level of focus that both of these guys are at this point of their career. And especially for someone like Jaylen signing that Supermax. And of course, all the pressure that comes along with bringing in someone like Porzingis and now bringing in someone like Drew Holiday and having these two pillars going into the season as essentially Eastern Conference favorites, of course, brings up all those same expectations of them getting back to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, and here's Jayson explaining those workouts and some of the things Paul Pierce told them during their time out there.
I bet I can guess what you're going to ask me.
Go for it then. I won't even ask it.
Spent a lot of time with Paul Pierce this summer, which was great. He was really motivated. Paul actually lost 15 to 20 pounds. And it was about 4 weeks. He came to the gym every day. And it was cool to have him around. Told us a lot of stories about championship team, a lot of things that can try to help apply to this year. And hopefully we see a lot more of Paul. Was that one of them?
That's it, thank you. No, I was also going to ask you about Drew, too.
The CLNS Media Network is powered by FanDuel. Sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston and get in on the action with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose.
So Jayson talked a little bit about it as well on NBC, said one of the biggest things Pierce told him was that everybody on the roster is important when it comes to winning a championship. So you got to make those connections with those guys, make everybody feel important, empowered. And it's not that he didn't always do that before, but he started to feel and realize the importance of that once Pierce explained what got that 2018 to the next level. Team meetings, the bonding off the court, the time they spent there. So even though he stood by what he told Goodman in that I'm not going to be the most loud, audacious leader.
He's no KG, right?
You're going to hear him in his own way, and all his teammates will hear from him in moments where he needs to be heard.
I think that's great. I mean, that just shows another level to his maturity. I mean, making sure that everyone's on the same page, getting everyone involved. I love that Paul Pierce was able to share that because, I mean, you look at some of the most crucial moments of that playoff run where they won the championship in 2008. It was some of those guys making big shots. The P.J. Brown shot. Even Sam Cassell came up big throughout that run. There were other moments where it's not always going to be the top guys or even the starters, right? You look at where he stands stands in terms of his legacy and having those conversations with Tatum, I think it's huge. It speaks volumes to where Tatum is at, again, in his maturity, and to have everyone on the same page. This is the time. This is the perfect time where you have sort of that regrouped, Celtics team, or revamped rather, and now you guys can regroup, bring in the new guys, and show them exactly where you are, where you stand, and making sure that everyone's on the same page throughout the course of a regular season is what leaders do.
And think of last year, Peyton Pritchard fell out of the mix a little bit, demanded a trade after a certain amount of time because he didn't feel wanted here anymore. Grant, similar deal. He explained that I kind of felt like I wasn't going to be back after a certain point over the summer. So this group's a similar situation. Some of these guys are playing for roles.
Yep.
Some of them are playing for their spot on a team as a whole. And especially the big men now with Rob gone, one of them's going to have to step up, whether it's Luke Cornett or Wendy and Gabriel's going to join this team over the next couple of days here. We'll see where these guys fit in. Tatum said it might even change throughout the course of the year. But the big thing he said, to go back to that point, is that everybody needs to feel empowered here. And just to bring it back to Jaylen, I like that they had these conversations over the summer. I like that they made these strides in terms of communicating and learning what it takes to win a championship. But I don't love, even if it is just a media thing, we compliment each other great. We talk all the time. We work out all the time together. This isn't a thing. Because as we've talked about over the years, when they've addressed it and acknowledged it and worked on it, that's when they've been at their best. When they've kind of chafed at it, it's been a little bit more awkward.
Yeah, because I feel like, it's been more awkward because I feel like they're the success of the Celtics, right, the last couple of years, I feel like they thought that was going to dead that conversation. But to be honest with you, I mean, we both know, Bobby, that's never going to happen until they win the championship.
Yeah.
Like, that's always going to be in the back of people's minds. Can these guys get it done? And I sort of like that they had that sort of chip on the shoulder. Like, look, we're tired of that narrative. We're trying to shut that down. And then if they perform on the court, if it translates there, then they won't hear it anymore. So I think that's where they sort of stand with it. But at this point of where they are, of trying to get that elusive championship, where you add guys like Porzingis and Drew Holiday, who of course has been there before, won a championship a couple of years ago. But now you have someone like Kristaps Porzingis, who has never kind of been in this sort of situation where a team is expected to get to the NBA Finals.
It's
and
clear
he's not,
they don't know him yet either. They got to get
that
to know
too,
him
but it's also clear that like he knows he's not going to be one of the top two guys, and he's fine with that.
Yeah.
He doesn't think that's going to change his production whatsoever. So that's a kind of attitude or mindset you want everyone to have. And I love that they kind of had that chip on their shoulder. And then, what's up, Quaddy? I was like, what are you guys smiling about?
Come over here.
And I think that's the thing. Like they know where they are right now.
Is there a divide between Brown and Tatum?
No, come on. Is that really a question?
But that's the narrative still, Quanti.
Don't listen to anything he says.
But I like that they're shutting that down right now. Like, look, we're over this.
Yeah, we're over this. I don't even know why you're talking about this right now.
Exactly. But look, that's the whole thing you want to see from Tatum and Brown.
Yep, Tatum said the wrist is fine, didn't get surgery. He'll be ready to roll this year. And
let's see equality.
Put on 12 pounds as well. Kwani Lunis, NBC Sports, Boston. Check her out on the A-List podcast. We'll have a Garden Report tonight as well here on CLNS Media. But that's it. Brown and Tatum, how you feeling about them going into this year? Let us know below, and we'll be back talking about that starting lineup. Who's going to play next to those guys this year now that Rob's gone and Drew's here?
Yep.
Josue Pavon, buddy, man. This has been the Garden Report.
With the busy fall season already in swing, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. Head to factormeals.com/newsfeed50 and use code newsfeed50 to get 50% off. That's code newsfeed50 at factormeals.com/newsfeed50 to get 50% off. Ever wish you could navigate the betting field with the confidence of a pro? Enter OddsR. They're not a sports book, but they're the sports betting advisor you always needed. It's like having a playbook for smarter bets right in your pocket. I've been absolutely loving the experience, and I think you will too. Especially since Celtics All Access listeners get a 30-day free trial. Elevate your game day and join the smart betting revolution. Go get it at oddsr.com/Celtics. That's oddsr.com/Celtics.